What up? It's your boy Draper J, a.k.a. Brother Ballhead, a.k.a. The Mustache Menace, a.k.a. Mr. Brown Sipper. And I'm back like Stephen A. Hairline, here to hit you with another episode of All About the Bills. And in this show, I'll be previewing our upcoming AFC Super wildcard weekend matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. And I also do, as I previously said in my very first two shows, I'll be recapping the season expectations of our coach Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. Let's get into it. All right, now let me do a little stat ranking rundown of the game, the matchup itself. All right, for the Colts, all right, points per game, they rank 9th with 28.2. Bills on our side, 38.3. You rank second. All right, yards per game. The Colts, they rank 10th. These are all offensive stats, by the way. Offensive stats. 378 yards, they rank 10th. We rank second with 396 yards. Passing yards per game. The Colts, they rank 11th, 253. Then over on us, on our side, we rank 3rd, 288. Maybe might well say 289, 288.8. All right, rushing yards per game. That's where they deadly at. The Colts, 124.8. Might well say 125. They rank 11th. For us, we rank 20th, 107.7. All right, defensively is where it gets a little rocky for us. All right, now the Colts, they rank 10th. They only give up 22.6 yards a game. We rank 16th. We give up 23.4 defensive yards per game. They give up 332. They rank 8th. We're ranked 14th. 352.5 passing yards defensively. They give up 241.6. Hold on to that stat in your head, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, and us, we rank 13th, 232 yards, 232.9 yards. Mine was 233 or whatever. All right, now, defensively, they only give up 90 yards per game. They rank second. We give up 119.6. We rank 17th. If we don't play the game right, it could be a long day for us. If we, and we've been watching our team all year long. We already understand that we can get gashed on the ground. They give up 90 yards on the ground, which it may even be a trend. They may hold us to probably about right at 100, because it's the Josh Allen show. But this game, I'm getting to a little bit later on, why I think we should at least try to run the ball more effectively. Now. Storylines. We got storylines. We got Phillip Rivers versus Josh Allen. All right. So we got the old 17 versus the new 17, and I'm very intrigued to see how this matchup plays out. At one point, you had Phillip Rivers. He had the cannon of an arm with the crazy release. He throwing it all over the field. He has weapons everywhere. Not so much now. He's in the latter part of his career, and he's not the same person as he once was. But it's all right. He has a run defense. He has a good defense. He has a run game. Now you have Josh Allen on the other side. He's the young guy with the weapons and the defense. I just really want to see how this plays out. If we really get into a shootout or a duel matchup with Josh Allen versus Phillip Rivers, could we actually possibly be seeing maybe a passing of the torch game? So this could possibly be our last time actually seeing Phillip Rivers play. Next storyline. The Jonathan Taylor-led rushing attack versus our defense. As I just stated earlier, that we are susceptible to getting gashed by the run. So if I just want to see, can we hold their rushing attack down? So that means our front four, our front seven is gonna have to be on their A game. It's gonna have to be Tremaine and Matt Milano, AJ Klein, Terrell Dotson, whoever else. The whole company of our linebacking core is gonna have to come up and play big. All right, now the Colts defense. This is where they're weak at and where we're strongest at. The Colts defense is ranked passing defense. Right? The Colts passing defense is ranked 20th. They give up 241 yards. Might well say 242 in the air. And our offensive passing is ranked 3rd. We get 289 yards per game. So I think this is going to be a good formula for Josh to eat all day long. I really don't know if Cole Beasley can go. Hopefully, hopefully Cole Beasley can go. If not, I feel very confident in Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox. He's starting to come along. He's still Dawson Knox. He's gonna catch all the hard ones. If Josh throws it to him with about 4 people around him in traffic, he'll catch those. But the ones where they fall right in his bread basket, he ain't gonna. He drops those. But I move on. I ain't gonna dwell on that. But I feel confident in Dawson Knox that he will make some plays in this game. We don't need you the whole game. That's what we got John Brown. That's what we got Stephon Diggs for. That's what we have those 2 guys for. And if we have Cole Beasley available, then we can use Cole Beasley. I want to see, can Josh take advantage of it? If Josh takes advantage of the porous or poor passing defense, then I think that we can come out of this game with a win, which Josh has shown. He's shown he can do that against some of the better defenses in the league. Like like that stretch where we lost to the Chiefs and we lost to the Titans, they figured out the formula. Well, we're just gonna drop back and just let him take. We're gonna see, can he figure it out. And after those 2 games, that I believe he kind of went back to the film, figured out, like, you know what, I'm just gonna take what they give me until they come up. Then the deep stuff will come into play later. And I think this may be their game plan, because they're not good. They don't have good cover corners, so they're gonna drop everybody back in coverage. So we're just gonna have to take what they give us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to just take what they give us, what they give us though. So we're gonna have to. There's gonna have to be that chess match. Us stopping their run game and them stopping our pass game. Now we can stop their run game and then we give one to pass. Of course, that's a win. That's a win-win for us, right? And now the next and last storyline I want to watch and see in this game: can we run the ball effectively? If we can run the ball effectively, I know it's the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs show. We got all the weapons out here. We throwing the ball all over the field. That's cool. I like that. But it's the playoffs. You see, it's a different season. It's the second season, what they call it. Everybody's 0-0. Everybody's qualified for the second season. It's gonna be bad conditions, and you never know how it may be in Buffalo when game day start. It may be a blizzard, or the sun may be shining. Who knows? But normally it gets cold up there, it gets icy, snow everywhere. We're gonna have to be able to show that we can run the ball, starting with this weekend. We got to. I mean, because if we can't run the ball and it's gonna always be on Josh Allen's shoulders, they may can get us past first round, second round, get us to the Chiefs, but then we're gonna hit a wall. Just like I stated when I was talking about Pittsburgh, when we played Pittsburgh in my Pittsburgh show. In my Pittsburgh review, if you can't run the ball, you can't be balanced, can't be anything, right? So if you can't be balanced, which we have to show this weekend, it can't just all be on Josh's shoulder. We got 2 good running backs back there. And that doesn't mean every play we have to always put the ball, just traditionally hand the ball off. It could be screen plays, anything, out the backfield. Just get them involved to make the defense respect it. Get them involved in space some kind of way close to the line of scrimmage. Make the defense start coming up, because like I said, I foresee them already sitting back, cover 4, cover 6, and just dropping everybody back and see can Josh figure it out. Now, here are my keys to the game, and they are both kind of like linked, so they're together. First, when we have to mitigate the run, we have to mitigate their rushing attack and make Phillip Rivers beat us from the pocket. If we stop their run game, if they can't do anything on the ground, if they're getting less than 4 yards of carry or 2 yards, if they're getting like 2-3 yards of carry, and our dogs are everywhere and we own them, okay, that's cool. Now let's see, can Phillip Rivers beat us from the pocket? Because I'm willing to put money on our pass defense, our secondary back there, which has really come along this last month or so of the season, come along with big turnovers now. You know what I'm saying? Was we shown to be able to turn the ball over? If we can make Phillip Rivers throw the ball an excessive of maybe 40 to 45 times, I like our chances. Stop that run game, because they have 3 good running backs. 3 good running backs that they can just interchange out, and they can just run their offense. And if we getting gashed, that's not good. But I think that needs to be the game plan. Stack the box, stop the run, make Phillip Rivers beat us from the pocket. All right, let me get on into the score prediction. Score prediction, I see it being 30-20 Bills. Of course, it's all about the Bills over here with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be any other score. We could be playing against Satan and his football team. It's gonna be Bills all day. And I think in this game here, the defense is gonna come up big. Won't get at least. I think this is gonna be the game where Josh plays consistent. He still plays with that confidence. 250, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns total. He's gonna be that guy. He's still gonna be Josh. But I think this is gonna be the game where the defense has their coming out party, where they get to maybe like 3-4 sacks, force fumble recovery, and a pick or 2, maybe 2 picks. Cause I think Phillip Rivers, when you got a gunslinger, he's a gunslinger. He believes in his arm. He's gonna try to fit it in a tight window, especially if we stopping that run. He's gonna start pressing. Every good quarterback, whoever they are, if they have to throw the ball too many times, they're gonna start pressing because they feel like the game is on their shoulders. Which you are. I mean, you're the leader. You touch the ball every time, every play, unless they're taking you out. Some type of wildcat formation. But 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be the quarterback touching the ball, and I think our defense is gonna come up. Now, and I don't wanna jinx it. I think we may get a scoop and score, maybe a pick 6. I think this is gonna be that game where they just brag on our defense. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be that game where the Bills now, they've come out in the form, won 6 in a row to get into the playoffs. The defense is there, and the offense has always been cooking all year long. I think this is the game that the defense is gonna really pick it up. All right, now, like I did in my very first show, I did my Sean McDermott season expectations. I'm finna recap that and run through it right quick. Also, I'm gonna do Josh Allen, the man of the hour, our MVP. All right, now I said I like to break the season down into quarters. Every 4 games is a quarter. You get 16 games. In the season, you had to go 3-1, 4-0 in a quarter for it to be a successful quarter. 2-2 is okay, but you can't go 2-2 too many times. You're allotted to at least go 2-2, maybe 2-1, maybe 2 times out of the season. You know what I'm saying? Or just beat the right teams to get in. All right, now let's go through the first quarter. Jets, Dolphins, Rams, Raiders. Went 4-0 in those games. And the Rams was like their very, very first matchup that we really had to prove ourselves. Went out there and proved it. Well, we really should have won that game just running off with it. But hey, things happen. We let them back in the game. Josh had to save us. 4-0 on that. Second quarter of the season. Titans, Chiefs, Jets, Pats. We stumbled out of the block with the Titans. Got just truly embarrassed. I mean, we looked like we weren't even supposed to be on the field. Then come back against the Chiefs. The game looked close. We had our opportunities, but the Chiefs were the better team that day. And those 2 games right there really could have changed the whole face of our season. We could have really been playing catch up. We could have just let those 2 games just define us. We could have let those 2 games just tear us down. But we didn't. We came back, bounced back, beat the Jets, beat the Pats. We went 2-2 in that quarter. All right, next quarter. We got the Seahawks, Cards, Chargers, 49ers. We bounced all the way back. We won 2 in a row by the time we played the Seahawks. We went out there, imposed our will on them, and that was the let Russ cook game. That was that was at the time they were talking about Russell Wilson for MVP, maybe even president. You know what I'm saying? We go out there and make him look mortal. He's not. He wasn't Russell Wilson that they thought he was. Then we come back. We were one fair Murray. I call it a fair Murray. We were one fair Murray away from really sweeping that whole quarter. So it is what it is. At that time when we lost, we were 7-3. I was like they were 7-3 or 6-4, whatever. Those gonna happen. 2 good teams lock up. Somebody has to lose. And those type of fluky plays, that Hail Mary or whatever that was at the end of the game, that's gonna happen. It's going to have at least 10 to 15, maybe even 20 times out of the season. We just so happen to be on the bad side or the wrong side of it. All right. Moving along. Chargers, 49ers. Beat them. Got them out the way. 3-1 in that quarter. Now, in this final quarter, we got the Steelers, Broncos, Pats, and the Dolphins. Now, with those 4 there, normally that part of the season, either you're a team that's still playing for something, or you just maybe need to win 1, maybe 2 games out of that, just so you can, get in the playoffs or a seed and something like that, and maybe you just don't really, you're not too focused on that part of the season. But we finished the season strong. We beat the Steelers, beat the Broncos, Pats, Dolphins. Well, we really just ran through the Broncos, Pats, and Dolphins. Steelers, that game looked closer than what it was, but we controlled that game all the way from when we got that pick six leading into the half. After that, it was our game. So, as far as with the quarters, I'm gonna give him an 8. I'm gonna give Sean McDermott an 8 because he won 3, pushed in one of the quarters. He won 3 out of 4 quarters, pushed in one. And those are two teams that are pretty good now in the playoffs that we lost to in that stretch. And the Cards were a team that we probably could have lost. That could have been in the playoffs had they would have won more games. But the quarters, he won quarters. I'm giving passing grade on that. Now moving over, top dogs. All right, now disclaimer: I made a lot of these season expectations when at the beginning of the season, first show, Super Bowl was just fresh on our brains. And I was thinking that San Francisco was gonna come back. I didn't know COVID was gonna hit the season. I can't say that word. The Rona. I didn't know that was gonna hit the league that hard. People opting out. That hurt San Fran. But now here go my top dog list. You had KC, San Francisco. You had the LA Rams and Seattle Seahawks. I said at least beat 2 of those teams. And reason being, you have to beat the top dogs. And if you got 4 or 5 of them, at least go 500 or better. You know what I'm saying? It just to show the rest of the league, or just to be able to let people know that when come playoff time, even though 3 of those teams are in the NFC and they don't matter, but 2 of them are in the playoffs on the NFC side, and one of them is in the playoffs, Kansas City, which has the number 1 seed. If you're gonna be able to show people that you can compete once you get to the playoffs, and if McDermott is preaching championship caliber and this and that, you got to be able to show that you can compete, you can play with those teams, and you can beat those teams. Because those are the type of teams you're going to face every week in the playoffs. And in that stretch, in those 3 top dog games, well, we went 3-1. 49ers, I kind of shouldn't count it, but that's what I had at the beginning of the season. We went 3-1, lost to the Chiefs. Now, fringe teams. Fringe teams are teams that I felt like on our schedule when I looked at it, were going to be teams that are going to be jockeying for position in the playoff race. That was going to probably, if we lose to this team, you don't want to tie with them because you either may be out or you may be a game away from being a high seed, or you're on the inside looking out rather. All right, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and the LA Raiders. Pittsburgh was one of those teams I had because I knew they were going to get Big Ben back, and they were 8-8 team the year before. And I think in that defense they were going to have, I had a feeling they would at least be a 10-11 win team, that we were going to be jockeying for position somewhere in there. Tennessee, I didn't think they were going to come back and make the jump they did. They won 11-5, won the division for being 9-7 the year before. I thought they were going to at least be maybe like that 9-7, 10-6 realm, but then, they came back, bounced back, had a better year. Raiders, they always, with John Gruden, for some reason, they find ways to win, even when you think they're not going to win. And in those 3 games, we went 2-1. Of course, we lost to the Titans. Don't even want to talk about that game. We got beat bad. The Titans, we end up they did finish to where if we were tied with them, they would have got 2nd, 3rd seed, wherever we were sitting at. They would have got their tiebreaker. And the Steelers, the same way. If we would have lost their game, tied with them, they would have had the tiebreaker. So we went 2-1. And I'm breaking this down because the fringe teams, you got to fight some adversity. You got to beat the teams where if you're not better than them and you're right there with them, you got to be able to show you can beat those teams. Everybody's not going to be a cupcake on your schedule. Top dogs, you're going to have top dogs on your schedule. You're going to have teams that are going to be like right there with you as far as talent-wise. You got to be able to have a winning record against them. Went 2-1, give them a passing grade on top dog and fringe team. Now, must wins. Dolphins, Chargers, Cards, Jets. Jets, I said because you got a team that's really on the rebuild. Dolphins, I already knew they was gonna get Tua or somebody in the draft. You don't want a team that's rebuilding with a rookie quarterback to beat you if you're supposed to be championship caliber. Chargers, same thing. Cardinals, 2nd year, they didn't do good the first year. I didn't know the growth or the maturation of Kyler Murray. He was gonna be this good this year, but he was. And in those games, we won 5-1. Give him a passing grade on that. Give him a division. If you can't win inside your division, if you can't at least be 500 or better in your division, how can you win outside your division? If you're going 2-4, 1-5 inside your division, and barely making the playoffs, you can't be taken seriously outside of your division. You can't be taken seriously in the AFC. As far as us as the Bills, we went 6-0. We won 6-0 in our division, and I give him a passing grade on that because you got to impose your will. If you're championship caliber, you have to be able to beat the teams inside your division. You can't. You know you're gonna see them twice a year. It's gonna be a chess game every time because you're gonna see them twice. They're gonna saw everything you did in the first game and make sure you don't do that to them in the next game. So we won 6-0. And like I said, disclaimer, I made this last one, especially like in February, didn't know where Tom Brady was gonna go. I felt like he was gonna come back, finish his career in New England, but we all know he went to Tampa. I said at least beat the Patriots once, if not now win. We beat them twice. First game, 24-21. We had to get a fumble, forced fumble and fumble recovery. Shout out to Justice Hammer. Second game, they really didn't even deserve to be on the field with us. Let's be for real. All right, now, in this next one, make the playoffs. At least make the playoffs. We didn't do any other stuff. At least make the playoffs. And we did, and we managed to be the second seed. Now, I can give him, I already, you already see where I'm going with this. It's going to be a passing grade. But I let the league tell you if he's good or not. He's the one that's in the Coach of the Year conversation. He's the one who may actually be the Coach of the Year. Could this actually be, Sean McDermott? Could he be the first Bills coach since Marv Levy to get that Coach of the Year award? I don't know. I think he deserves it. If you're gonna snub our quarterback, our MVP quarterback, at least give our coach props. We 13-3. We were 10-6 last year. When a lot of people still saw us go to the playoffs last year. Still saw the growth of Josh Allen. It was a small increment. From that, they still was saying 8-8, 9-7. Some people even saying 4-12. Let's go 13-3. Give us our props. And last but not least, Josh Allen, the man of the hour. Let me go ahead and run through this. Like an old Baptist preacher, I ain't gonna hold y'all long. Josh Allen. I said I needed 8 games of consistency. I needed consistency out of Josh Allen. I needed at least that Dallas game for 8 games. The reason being why I use that Dallas game as the poster child of what I'm saying, or what I'm trying to say, is that Dallas game, he looked real calm, collected, and nothing rattled him. That was like his best game of the season. Even though he had better 1 or 2 games statistically in that same year, he was calm. He didn't let nothing rattle him. He was finding the receiver on 3rd down. We were converting some 3rd and longs too, just like the one we bagged up into the end zone, and he found Cole Beasley. But anyway, I counted 10 games where he gave us that type of consistency. 10 games. We're not even going to talk about the Tennessee game where he threw for 268, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. That was a consistent game. I didn't even count that game. Then you had your low games like the Chiefs game, 122. The second Jets game where he threw for over 300 yards, but then he scored a touchdown. Was another game he threw for like 150 against the Chargers. I didn't even count those games in there. So he showed he gave us 8 games. He gave us 10 games. He gave us 10 games of consistency, and he was the reason why we won a lot of those games. Give him a passing grade on that. I needed to see at least in this next one 3 breakout games, and my breakout statistics were 280 yards plus passing, 80 yards plus on the ground, 4 touchdowns. Now he didn't run as much this year as I thought he was gonna run. So we're gonna throw that 80 yards plus rushing out the gate. We're gonna just stick with the 280, 4 touchdowns. All right. Now let's go down. I counted 6 of those games. He gave me 6. He must listen to the show or watch it. He must listen to the podcast or watch the show. He just proving all the doubters wrong. But I'm not a doubter. I just needed to see that out of him, so I knew that because he's linked to our success. But let's move on. All right, Miami. All right, first Miami game, 415, 4 touchdowns. Rams, 311 yards, 4 touchdowns in the air, 1 on the ground. Seattle, 415, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground. 49er game, 375, 4 touchdowns. Denver game, 359, 2 and 2, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground. New England, the second one, 320, 4 touchdowns. That's 6 games where he just completely balled out. That's our leader of our team, where he completely balled out. So that means I think we have our quarterback of the future. I set up these season expectations. If he met those criteria, I feel like we have our quarterback of the future. And it seems like he's passing these first 2. Now let's move to this next one. All right. Now, as I said, the top dog: KC, San Francisco, Seattle, and the Rams. All right, like I said, we don't worry about San Fran, but like I said, I made this before when they just made it out of the Super Bowl or whatever. And I was saying that we had to at least beat 2 of those teams. And I said, Josh will at least have to be the reason why we win 2 of those games. We had to be the reason why we win at least 2 of those games. And between those 4 teams, we won 3-1. Passing grade. That's an A. You know what I'm saying? You can't dissect that anymore. All right, now, what I wanted to see, these next one, 4 comeback wins and or game-winning drive. He only had 1, got robbed. He had 1 against the Rams, game-winning drive, 4-quarter comeback, and got robbed in 1 against the Cardinals. That's supposed to be 2. But all the rest of the game, we were pretty much up all those games. And he was the reason why. So I still give him leeway. I give him leeway on that because he was the reason why we was up. Because it was the Josh Allen show, Stephon Diggs, all year long. Y'all know. Y'all been watching. All right, now, in the ball security issues, I said he had to chill out on it. Last year, he had 9 picks, 7 fumbles lost, which was combined 16 turnovers. And this year, he came back with 10 picks and 6 fumbles. I guess you call that a push. And like I said, I put together this criteria saying that if you met those, in my eyes, to me, it's not the end all be all. It's not like etched in stone because I felt like that we would have our quarterback of the future, and he passed exceeded all those expectations. And I think we had a quarterback of our future, and I think we had somebody in this franchise. Now, let me move on. Let me get off my Josh Allen soapbox. I stand on it for too long. My feet will get hurt. But, now, overall season expectations, season goal for the team. When I first looked at the schedule, I said about 10-6 or 11-5. Don't at me. Don't be in my DM saying how crazy could I be. But I just said that because I didn't know what the layout of the AFC East was gonna be. I thought Brady was coming back. I think we were gonna at least split with them, and so I didn't know. I was confident in that 10-6, 11-5, 10-6, 11-5. But we exceeded those expectations, 13-3, and we are the second seed in the playoffs. Any other year we have a bye, but they're making it hard on us. They must knew we were gonna make it to the playoffs. They want to change it up, so we don't have the bye now. This weekend is gonna be very fun to watch for a Bills fan, for a football fan. If you're a fan of football, you've been peeping us out, you've been checking us out. I think this is a year to be excited. This is very much so a year to be excited to see what we really have. And let's revel in this moment, because next year is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. Let's just be ready to go watch our Bills dominate, come away with this W this weekend, because next year it's not promised that we're going to be 13-3 again. Yeah, they dropped the schedule out there letting us know that we play in the AFC South, NFC South. And, I'm already getting people saying, we're going to be 12-4. We're going to be this and that. You never know what some of those teams that are not good are going to turn out to be next year. Those are some of the things that I like to watch as far as on our schedule. Because I've been schedule watching for years. And I always go down the schedule, we're going to beat this team, because of what they look like this year. Next year, new head coach, new quarterback, whole new system. And they could be a juggernaut. So let's revel in the moment, and let's make sure that we cheer our Bills on. And I'm out of here like last year. Peace.